Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is culture, traditions and houses. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, it is always very important for us to sanitize. Make sure that you use your sanitizer correctly by rubbing inside, around your hands, in between your fingers, your fingertips as well, and on your wrists. Well done. Today's lesson is all about right angles and measurement. For our first exercise, boys and girls, let's go to page 11. On page 11, we are going to be doing some computations. Now, they can be very fun to do, but it's up to you on how you're going to be doing your computations. So let us take a look at the board. Now, I have 3 of them that are on the board, and instead of adding in a straight line, we are going to add with one number on top of the other. And this one is how it's done. We are always going to start from the unit side. In this case, our unit side is here. So when we are adding, we say 4 plus 2. And that is where we start. To help us today, we are going to be using counters. So we can use counters or we can use our number line. But for this one, we're going to use our counters. So the first one that we need to do is, we know that we are adding 4. So we need to count off 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we are adding 2. So let us add 2 more. 1, 2. So we now need to count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know our answer is 6. Now when we are writing our answer, it needs to sit in the place where the sums are. So we have our 4 here, our 2 here, which means our 6 is going to be here. Then when we are done writing our 6 underneath our 2, we are going to go to the tens side. Now the tens side will now say 1 plus 1. So that is very easy for us grade 3s. What is 1 plus 1? Yes, it is 2. So we write our 2 and our sum becomes complete. Let's try again on the other side. Now remember, I said when we're adding numbers from one on top of the other, we start with the unit side. There we go. So we know that we are starting on the unit side. And then our unit side actually says, together, 6 plus 3. So we are going to first add 6 plus 3. We can still use our counters. So instead of making 6 counters, we are only going to use 3. And we're going to count on, meaning counting forward from 6, going to the next number. So let us try. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. So our answer is 9. Now that we have written our 9 underneath the unit side where we have 6 plus 3, it's now time for us to move on to the tens. So we have our tens here, and then we say, let's say it together, 4 plus 3. So we are going to use the same method of our counters. We have the bigger number 4, which means we only need 3 counters. So we are counting on from the number 4. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7. So they are 7. Then we write our 7 in the equals box and underneath our tens. The last one is also going to be the same way. We start with our units, which in this case is 4 plus 2. And what is 4 plus 2, my dear children? Yes, 4 plus 2 is 6. So we write our 6 in the equals box under units. And then we add 3 plus 1. So 3 plus 1 with our tens gives us 4. Now we know we have completed the sum. So instead of us doing it in tens and units, it now says 14 plus 12 equals 26. For the first one, did you get the same answer? Well done. Then we have 46 plus 33. Your answer will be 79. If you got the same answer, good job. Now the next one says 34 plus 12 equals 46. Now I want you to continue practicing them and you're going to do the rest by yourself. But now let us take a look at the bottom of the exercise. Now at the bottom of the exercise, instead of adding, you are going to be subtracting or taking away. Now this one is also very easy because we are going to first change them into the numbers that we were doing before, where one number is on top of the other. Let us take a look at the first one where it says 17 minus 10. So how are we going to write 17 minus 10? Well, the first thing that you're going to do is you always write the bigger number on top. And in this case, the bigger number is 17. So we are going to write our 17 and then we are going to write our 10. Then after writing it, we need to remember our subtraction sign, our minus sign, and then our equal sign. Now we are ready to computate. Now we say, just like how we did for the units, it's the same thing when you are subtracting. We say 7 take away 0. And as you know, anything that is taken away by 0 still remains the same number. So we have our 7 that is sitting in the equals box. And then now we have 1 take away 1. So if I have one thing and it's taken away from me, I end up having nothing. But instead of having a 0 here, I will leave my answer this way, where we only have the 7. Please, my dear children, take your time. Make sure that you are getting everything correct. Remember, for the minus, it is the big number that should be on top. Have fun and use your counters if you need to, or a number line, and I will see you after our short advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
For our exercise now, please can you turn to page 12. On page 12, we are going to be doing problem-solving sums. Now, problem-solving sums are very fun to do, boys and girls, because first there's a problem and then we have to solve it. And it's so easy if you know what to do. Just like our comprehensions, we need to read the problem 3 times. So we are going to do number 2 and number 4 together. Let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says, some kites were flying in the air. 17 of them crashed and then there were 27 flying. How many kites were flying before? Let's read it again. Some kites were flying in the air. 17 of them crashed and then there were 27 flying. How many kites were flying before? So now that we know the problem, we want to solve it. Now this is a kite. And when someone is flying a kite, that means they have it in their hands in one side and then there's a string to connect it at the other side. So when someone is flying a kite, they need to move and run. But if there are so many kites flying in the air, they can crash and come together. So we want to find out how many kites were flying before. Do we add? Do we subtract? Or do we share? If you said that we are adding, well done. So what you are going to do is add the first number, which is 17, with the next number, which is 27. You are going to write it 17 plus 27. And you can use your counters if you have that many, or the counting on method on your number line. Now, let us move to the last one on page 12. The last one says, let's read it together. The students earned some recess. Mr. Charlie gave them 15 minutes. Now they have 28 of recess. How many minutes did the students earn? Let's read it again. The students earned some recess. Mr. Charlie gave them 15 minutes. Now they have 28 minutes of recess. How many minutes did the students earn? So this one, we are going to take a look at our clock to verify. Now, the first thing we know is that they had 15 minutes. And then all together, after earning, they have 28. So that means that we need to subtract. Yes, we are subtracting. We are going to take the bigger number, the total number of minutes, which is 28. And then we are going to take away the minutes that they were given by Mr. Charlie, which are 15 minutes. Don't forget to put your minus sign at the end. So now we have a sum which says 27 minus 28 minus 15. So we start always with our unit side. So these are our units and we say 8 minus 5 equals. Now you can use your number line or you can use your counters. In this case, our answer, after I did it with my counters, is 3. And then you move on to the tens side. In this case, it says 2 minus 1 equals. Now what does 2 minus 1 equal? Yes, 2 minus 1 equals 1. And now we know that our answer is complete. So let's now say it in full. 28 minutes minus 15 minutes equals 13 minutes. So that means that the children earned 13 minutes. Now remember, when we're dealing with a problem-solving sum or a story sum, we need to write a sentence for the answer. And in this case, your sentence will say, they earned 13 minutes. Please make sure that you take your time. If you want to try and see if your answer is correct, just count 13 minutes and then you add 15 minutes and your answer should be 28 minutes, which is here on the clock. So you start from your 12 going down and you will get your answer, which is 28 minutes. Have fun with the story sums, take your time, and I will see you soon after our advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
We have now come to the end of our special lesson, boys and girls, and I hope you had fun. Remember, reading can be so much fun, especially if you change your voice. Now that we are done, it is time to sanitize. Now, when we sanitize, we need to make sure that we sanitize our hands properly. So inside, around, in between, our fingertips, and on our wrists. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. Well done! Now, let's see if we can call Zoshi with our special traditional drum. Zoshi! Zoshi, hi! Did you hear my special drum? Yes. So, from Zoshi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today and goodbye!
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF for Every Child, My Zone Online School, and Amos